Hi, I'm Lou Broughton, lead instructor for 5400. In this video tutorial, I'm going to go over the new AI assignment template so that you can make sure that you are addressing this assignment to the depth required by the rubric. So, on the title page, make sure to include the title of your presentation that clearly shows which option you have chosen. Are you going to address personalized learning? Are you going to address AI-driven assessments and their effectiveness? Or are you going to address AI for administrative teacher tasks? You get to choose the one you want to research and address. Then make sure to include your name, the certification you are seeking, and the grade levels and content areas you currently teach, if you are currently teaching. For the background section of the rubric, or the background knowledge section, you might need to include 2 slides in order to receive 3 points on the rubric. Not only do you need to provide information about background knowledge from your research on this topic, but you also need to include your own personal background knowledge regarding this topic. What did you already know going in? Have you used AI for any of these topics, personalized learning, assessment, or a teacher task? If you provide bullet points, make sure to use the speaker notes that are down here. You can click on this and add your notes. This is where you're going to detail what you plan to say about each bullet point. In order to receive a grade of 2 or 3 on the rubric, you're going to need to provide more than bullet points. You're going to need to elaborate on those bullet points, and that's why you're going to use the speaker notes. What are you going to say? What examples are you going to give? You might even have a quick example reminder on the slide, but then you're going to discuss the example in more detail in your speaker notes. Providing only quick bullet points with no elaboration does not qualify for a 2 or 3, because every section of the rubric needs to be well explained in order to rise to those levels of a grade of 2 or 3. Then the next slide, you're going to discuss your first benefit. Provide well-explained examples regarding your first benefit by discussing your own experiences or observations about the benefit. This should be detailed and reflective. Use the speaker notes section to add what you plan to say. Make sure to include an in-text citation for the source or sources you read regarding this benefit. Benefit 2, you need to do the same thing. Provide well-explained examples, and this should be detailed and reflective, and use the speaker notes to add what you plan to say, along with including an in-text citation for the source or sources you read. Feel free to discuss a third benefit on a third slide. The rubric requires 2 well-explained examples to receive a grade of 3. If you are worried one of your examples is not well explained, please add a third benefit that is well explained, and use the speaker notes section for your explanation if needed. You're going to do the same thing for each challenge. Challenge 1 will be on one slide with well-explained examples, and your in-text citation and your speaker notes. The same thing for challenge 2. And once again, if you feel that one of your examples is not well explained, you can add a third example on a third slide and use the speaker notes section for your explanation. Then you're going to wrap up your response with your personal perspective. Make sure to answer these questions. What was your perspective going into this assignment? Did your perspective change? If so, how did it change? If not, what did you read or observe that solidified your original perspective? What personal experiences have shaped your perspective overall? This right here is needed in order to receive credit for a reflective response. Make sure to use the speaker notes section below the slide to elaborate on what you plan to say if you were actually to give this as a presentation. This could take 2 slides to be detailed enough to receive 3 points on the rubric. Then, on the last slide, cite all of your references in either APA or MLA format. Make sure to include in-text citations on your previous slides to receive 3 points for your sources being highly integrated into your presentation. If you have any questions after watching this video tutorial, please reach out to your specific instructor, whose email is included in the announcement section of the course.